Welcome back to the deep dive. Our mission here is pretty simple. We take a stack of dense, insightful source material, strip out the noise, and just deliver the essential knowledge straight to you.
And today we're following a journey. It's very specific, but I think you'll find it's also universally relatable.
Yeah, it's the quest to adopt a niche programming language, Haskell, in this case, after being away for almost 2 decades.
And the shocking complexity of getting the tools installed.
Right. This whole deep dive comes from a single source, a really detailed set of programmers' notes, published just this month, actually.
Super timely. And it's not just a technical guide. It's an honest look at, the real effort involved, contrasting this old school, meticulous approach with the easy way out, like asking an AI to do it for you.
Okay, so we're going to trace this process step by step. We'll analyze the decisions, the health of the community tools they uncovered, and ultimately whether all that effort was even worth it. So let's unpack this.
Let's do it.
The whole story kicks off with a beautiful, relatable moment of procrastination. The author is finally using the long year-end holiday to return to a project they dropped, 18 years ago?
18 years. I mean, that's a lifetime in technology.
It really is.
And the reason for going back is fascinating. It's really practical, It's rooted in customization. The whole reason they got into it all those years ago was because of Xmonad.
Ah, the window manager. For anyone who doesn't know, it's a super powerful tiling window manager for Linux.
And it happens to be written entirely in Haskell.
Which means if you want to seriously tweak your setup, you can't just edit a simple config file. You have to actually engage with the language itself.
Exactly. You have to learn Haskell. So when that initial dive stalled years ago, they just stopped. And I really like the philosophical take on that.
Me too. They said abandoning the plan was perfectly fine.
Yeah, that it just didn't align with their happiness or life direction at the time. It sets a really deliberate tone for this new attempt. This isn't just a whim.
For sure.
Yeah.
And their whole method this time is just as deliberate. In a world where everyone is leaning on AI, this author made a conscious choice to take the old school approach.
Right. Building it piece by piece and only using the LLM as, and I'm quoting here, a sophisticated search engine, not a code generator. They're intentionally looking for the friction.
And boy, do they find some friction.
Immediately. And this connects to the bigger picture. The first thing they hit is just version management hell.
Right. The first big stumble. The version of Haskell in the official Ubuntu 25.04 repository is 9.6.64.
But the latest stable release, it's 9.12.2.
That's a huge gap. I mean, that's enough to actually matter for modern development.
It is. So the next logical step for any Linux developer is to look for a PPA, a personal package archive.
A community-run repository to get newer software.
But, nope. The author finds that the third-party PPAs for Haskell are, quote, long abandoned.
That's a massive red flag right there.
Yeah.
It signals that the community might be shrinking, or at least that no one's investing time in standard packaging anymore.
It's a bad sign. So that leads them to the community's recommended tool, GHCup. It's supposed to be the fix for all of this.
You'd think so. But this is where it gets really interesting.
This is the real shocker. GHCup itself is, well, it's facing its own existential crisis.
What do you mean?
It's slated for discontinuation in the new year. The main core installation tool is being sunsetted.
You're kidding. Not only that, the maintainer is telling people to switch their entire workflow to Nix.
Exactly. And if you're a programmer listening to this, you know that isn't just swapping one tool for another. That is a profound philosophical shift.
Oh, absolutely. Nix isn't like a normal package manager. It's purely functional, declarative. You're not installing things. You're describing an entire environment.
It's like building your code inside a sterile, clean room every single time. It's powerful, but it's complex.
So the message here is basically that the Haskell ecosystem is giving up on integrating with normal operating systems. They're saying, if you want stability, you have to adopt our entire specialized philosophy.
It raises the barrier to entry so much.
And there's more.
Yeah, another tool, the Asta Haskell plugin, is also looking for a new maintainer. So you have 3 separate facts, all pointing in the same direction.
Dated native package, abandoned PPAs, and the main tool is about to be obsolete.
Which leads the author to, as they put it, reasonably question the overall health and direction of the Haskell tooling ecosystem.
This isn't just a bumpy installation. This is a sign of real instability. And that's a crucial thing for you to know if you're thinking about diving into Haskell yourself.
For sure.
So, faced with this unstable landscape, the author decides to press on with GHCup anyway. but they do it the most rigorous, manual, and secure way possible.
Right. They explicitly say they will not use the common one-liner, the curl shift command.
Which pipes a script from the internet straight into your shell. Super convenient, but also super risky.
They called their choice more tedious, but felt it was the only proper, secure way to do it. It's a shift from convenience to absolute trust verification.
And the rigor here is, it's a masterclass in security consciousness. Let's walk through it. First, they download 3 separate files.
The GHCup binary itself, version 0.150.2, the SHA-256SUM SHAR file with the checksums.
And crucially, the SHA-256SUMS.sig file, the signature.
And this is where the chain of trust gets really complex. To verify that signature file, the thing that proves the checksums haven't been tampered with, they had to import public GPG keys.
Just one key.
No, this is the wild part. They had to import 4 specific maintainers' public GPG keys.
4 different maintainers. Just think about the work that involves. You have to hunt down those keys, make sure you're getting the right ones from legitimate sources.
You're verifying the trust of 4 different people just to verify the integrity of a file that verifies the integrity of the actual program you want to install.
That's a long chain.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to ask, is that level of rigor practical for the average developer?
That's the question, isn't it? Doesn't that complexity just push more people back to the risky curl shum method because they don't have hours to spend on verification?
It's the central tension of this whole deep dive. But this author chose security over speed. So only after importing those 4 keys did they actually verify the signature.
And then they verified the checksum of the binary itself. And thankfully, the result came back.
Finally. After that, the configuration is pretty standard. Move the binary into the executable path, BingCup.
Check the version, and then adjust the shell path to include the right directories. So homey.cabalbin and home.ghcupin.
And the author did have a nice practical tip for you at home.
Yeah.
Once you've done all that hard work, you can just use GHCup's TUI, its text user interface, for easier version selection after that.
A little concession to convenience, but only after security has been completely assured.
Right. Which brings us full circle. After all that effort, the hours spent verifying keys, wrestling with this unstable ecosystem, was the version difference they got even significant?
That's the big question.
The latest version available through their new secure GHCup installation was 9.6.7.
Okay. And the one sitting in the slightly dated Ubuntu repository.
9.6.6. So what does this all mean? The difference is a single minor patch release.
Unbelievable.
The author basically concludes that sticking with the native Ubuntu version would have saved the entire hassle, unless you specifically needed a bug fix that was only in that one patch.
It's a classic trade-off. The value they gained wasn't in features, it was in peace of mind. A victory for process, not for product.
And one last crucial technical note for anyone who does go down this path.
Oh yeah, this is important. You have to use the GHCup TUI and specifically the exec command to create a soft link to make your chosen version active.
It's an easy step to miss that leaves your installation basically useless.
Exactly.
So, moving beyond the pure tech for a second, there's a surprising meta insight buried in the source material that I found really compelling.
The 3 hours.
The 3 hours. The author just casually drops that writing and documenting this single technical post, the one we've been analyzing, took them 3 hours.
Just to document the process. A process most devs would try to blast through in half an hour. It's a staggering amount of time.
And it gives you so much context, right?
Yeah.
It explains why the author said they haven't published as many technical posts over the years.
Because the sustained effort required to do it well, to research, verify, and write high-quality documentation, it's intensely difficult to manage.
And the only reason this post even exists is because of the convergence of the long holiday and, well, a relapsed knee injury. They were literally forced to sit still.
It's a powerful look at the unseen labor that goes into creating the kind of detailed guides we all rely on. Quality technical knowledge comes at a cost, and it's usually paid in someone's free time.
So let's recap the key insights we've pulled out for you today. First, we looked at the state of Haskell's tooling. It's in crisis. GHCup is on its way out, and there's this pressure to migrate to Nix.
We also explored the immense effort involved in a secure manual installation, specifically that 4-layer GPG key verification needed just to establish trust.
And finally, the big reveal.
Yeah.
After all that work, the technical gain over the native package was just one minor patch release.
The key takeaway, I think, is to constantly evaluate the friction you're willing to accept. The author chose this maximum security path. It cost them hours, and it led them to an ecosystem that's about to change drastically anyway.
So you have to think critically about that trade-off between convenience and security. Is that level of rigor worth the time, or does it just become a roadblock to getting anything done?
Exactly.
And that leads us to a final thought for you to chew on. The author started this journey by philosophically justifying why they give up halfway on projects sometimes.
Right.
Yet, they've already invested a huge non-recoverable amount of time, 3 hours, just documenting the setup into this new Haskell quest.
A significant upfront investment.
So does that sunk cost, driven by a desire to configure a window manager or maybe just the boredom of a knee injury, does it now anchor them to the project? Does it make them more likely to push through all this tooling chaos?
Or does seeing the mess this clearly make it easier to cut their losses now and maybe move to a language with a healthier, more stable infrastructure?
Something for you to consider next time you start your own ambitious technical undertaking.
We'll see you next time on The Deep Dive.